Let's talk a bit more then about Rubio's trip with Kethevane Gorjestani, our foreign editor. And Kethevane, look, Rubio in Slovakia, and then as we saw in our report there, in Hungary. What do you make of his choice of European destinations?
Well, look, it's no secret that the leaders of those two countries, Robert Fico in Slovakia and Viktor Orban in Hungary, are two of the most Eurosceptic and pro-Trump leaders in Europe. But Rubio's trip and choice of locations is way more than just going to see like-minded allies in Europe. It's also the concrete application of the new U.S. national security strategy that was released in December when it comes to how the U.S. sees Europe. And there are 2 points that are very clear here. One was that the national security strategy said that Europe, in the eyes of the Americans, faced a, quote, civilizational erasure due to, in part, European policies, especially when it comes to immigration, but also cratering birth rates and loss of national identities. All of these themes are very dear to the heart of Viktor Orban, for example. The second point made in the national security strategy was the idea that America should help Europe correct this trajectory towards civilizational erasure. And how to do that? Well, the Americans noted positively what they called the growing influence of patriotic European parties. They also insisted on the fact that America needed to cultivate resistance within European nation. All of these things pointing to American support for conservative, far-right nationalist parties across Europe, and you're seeing this being applied in Hungary and in Slovakia. Marco Rubio really building up on Donald Trump's endorsement on X or on Truth Social on Friday. Rubio saying President Trump is deeply committed to your success, talking to Orban, because your success is our success. And it's not just Viktor Orban, it's not just Europe. Donald Trump has been endorsing leaders that are like-minded, conservative nationalist leaders around the world. You had the example in Europe of Karol Nawrocki in Poland, but also Javier Milei in Argentina, for example. This is something that U.S. President up to now usually shied away from taking sides in other countries' elections. That is done. Donald Trump is very clearly supporting Viktor Orban.
And look, can this American support help Orban when it comes to the elections in April?
Well, look, polls are showing currently that Viktor Orban's Fidesz party is lagging behind the opposition leaders, Peter Magyar's TISA party. And Donald Trump's support, I was talking about how he endorsed other leaders around the world, that did help in some cases. For Javier Milei, clearly the fact that Donald Trump said, well, if Javier Milei is reelected, there is a $20 million bailout coming your way, Argentina. That clearly probably helped a little bit Javier Milei, but there have been instances where Donald Trump's support was not necessarily a help and sometimes was even problematic for those leaders. We saw it in Canada, for example, where he took sides for the conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, but also in Australia, where some of the leaders were trying to sort of mimic the Trump style, and there was a element, an expression that was coined, which was the anti-Trump bump that helped liberal parties in reaction to Donald Trump. And recently, especially in recent months, you've seen the tariff threats, the attacks on Greenland, for example. All of these things have had even the most populist, most pro-Trump parties in Europe actually say, well, we're not very comfortable with what you're doing right there. A few examples. You had Reform Party in the UK criticize Donald Trump's tariffs. You had the National Rally here in France criticize the attack on Greenland, the attack on the sovereignty of a European nation. Same thing for the AfD in Germany. These are all parties that usually are very much pro-Trump, and they are saying that they're not comfortable because it goes against their principles, the principle of putting the country first, which they apply in Europe, but they're also saying now, well, you're attacking the sovereignty of a country. So that could be a sort of pull role here in the Hungarian election, especially because recent polls Europe-wide are showing that most Europeans, including voters of far-right parties, are growing increasingly uneasy with not only Donald Trump, but also the United States in general. And that might be why you heard Marco Rubio, and I'll finish with that, in Slovakia yesterday, insisting that the U.S. was not asking Europe to be a vassal of the United States, but to be a partner of the United States.
All right, thanks for your analysis. Kethevane, Gorjestani for us there.